Greetings YouTube and welcome to GLBT News 101. I'm your host Lance and welcome to the program. First of all guys, I want to talk to you about a country over here in Africa called Mozambique. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Africa is very known for their intolerance and non-acceptance of homosexuals. However, that's not quite the case in every single country in Africa. As we already know and explained in one of our previous videos, South Africa does allow same-sex marriage, and they have many anti-discrimination laws against homosexuals. The same can be said to some extent in this country right over here to the northeast, Mozambique. They have anti-discrimination laws for employment in regards to homosexuals. So meaning any person who has a job, they cannot be fired based on their sexual orientation. In regards to a little bit more about the population, they have a population of roughly 26 million people. They are this country right here, so they are rather dense. This is a map of the entire continent of Africa. Has a population of 1.1 billion. So you can see they are rather roughly pretty dense nation. A little bit more about the history of Mozambique. They are recently gained their independence in 1975 from Portuguese rule. And 2 years after that, in 1977, they erupted into a very intense civil war, lasting all the way till 1992. So they have been very recent to being a peaceful nation. As well as 1994 is when they had their first multi-party election, and has remained relatively stable since. I say relatively stable because in recent history, one of the opposition groups, or one of the political group, the opposition party, Renamo, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, has been, causing low-level clashes between their armed members of the Renamo opposition party and the local government forces. However, they both recently accepted a ceasefire because they are going to be voting this coming October for a new president, and hopefully after that they both will feel that their voices were heard and they'll maintain some peace and stability in that region. And of course, in regards to their cities, they have one city over 1.1 million, and here's a list of all the other cities that they have. They have several large population centers. And in regards to LGBT rights in Mozambique, there was a recent poll in September 2013 that polled some people in Maputo, which is the largest city, which has a population of over 1.1 million people. In regards to same-sex adoption, nearly 50% support allowing same-sex adoption. In regards to same-sex marriage, you can see there's a little bit less levels of support throughout the other cities too. In regards to same-sex rights, the former president of Mozambique, Mozambique has actually came out in support of gay rights in Africa, and as a response to Nigeria introducing one of the most homophobic laws in the world, he is kind of trying to press his country to become more accepting of gay rights, which I think is very significant when you have a former president coming out in favor of gay rights, such as we have here when we have our sitting president, Barack Obama, in the United States, coming out in favor of same-sex marriage. and equality. Of course, a little bit more about their country. They were kind of fairly recent. They have a strong agricultural based economy. They're recently starting to industrialize. In the 90s, they had not 6% of jobs were in industry versus other sections like agriculture, whereas now it's more into, I think, in the 20s. So they are becoming more and more industrialized. And of course, list of their major crops: cassava, I think that's cassava, and maize, another word for corn, is the main two crops that they have. There's kind of a little picture, some more of a root-based plant, as well as maize, which is basically corn. In regards to LGBT community organizations, there are a few organizations that are trying to progress gay rights and gay equality of same-sex individuals in Mozambique. However, being that unfortunately that I don't know Portuguese, it's kind of hard for me to find out a little bit more specifics on those organizations. So if anyone can speak Portuguese and has the time to look further into this, I would absolutely love to find out more. What are those organizations' names, and what are their plans, and what are they working towards to what are their goals, their operational goals, and what kind of timeline do they expect to see some progress? And of course, just kind of a general trend. So another poll in 2009 showed that a lot the younger generation is text messaging, and nearly 25% of anyone between 15 and 35 is using the internet regularly, and over half the individuals are looking at newspapers online and using online sources to find their current news on current events and education, as well as using mobile phones, using radio on their mobile phones to find information, stay connected to the world beyond their local communities, which is always shows a sign for progression. And once you start having individuals getting more connected to the world around them. And with that, that's just kind of a brief explanation as to what's going on in Mozambique, the country right next to South Africa, which is one of the very progressive countries in Africa, moving towards acceptance and gay equality for same-sex individuals. If you have any questions, feel free to write them down below. If you have anything you want to build upon, or any things I got wrong. Hopefully I didn't get anything wrong, but there's always something that is the possibility. But again, I hope you found this educational, thought-provoking, and I hope you feel encouraged enough to seek out more information about gay rights in your local community, in your backyard, as well as in the world abroad. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day. And I also, please, would love it if you liked it and you shared it, and help to spread the word so we can educate more people and to find out what's going on in regards to the GLBT community in the world as a whole. So thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.